you know that the Levi Strauss Company participates in several charitable causes every year? Yes, the popular clothing company. Levi's is so big on charity that they have a foundation dedicated to democracy, immigrant rights, and sustainability. But how did a clothing brand get so deep into human rights? And how did they make enough money to fund both their clothing brand and their charity endeavors? Curious? Keep watching. 3 things in life are inevitable: death, taxes, and owning at least one pair of jeans. There probably aren't any types of clothes worn more than jeans around the world. Versatile, durable, comfortable, and forever trendy, you can never go wrong with jeans. It is no surprise why they are so popular. Although Levi's did not invent denim, the company was the first to make blue jeans, and the brand has become synonymous with the word jeans, in the same way you think jacuzzi when you hear hot tub. For 171 years now, the Levi Strauss Company has been a titan in the textile and fashion industries. The company has been through defining periods in world history, and it has seen countless eras of fashion and changes in trends. Despite all of that, there has hardly been any seeming threat of Levi's becoming irrelevant at any point. There is no doubt about the ability of the Levi Strauss Company to adapt to the times. The question, though, is how they took advantage of difficult periods to remain standing for so long. By the end of this video, we will tell you all you need to know about Levi's and their position in the fashion industry, the foundation of the denim blue jeans, and the reason why 171 years down the line, they still hold charitable outreaches with different foundations. Get ready to explore the history of the brand, so closely tied to the American identity. Before we get into it, a quick reminder that today's video is sponsored by Sky is the Limit, a high-quality brand that gives you sneakers that you can trust. Levi's is widely considered an American brand to today. However, the company was built by Levi Strauss, a German-born immigrant who only moved to the United States in 1848 when he was 18 years of age. Levi was born in the town of Buttenheim in the German Confederation on February 26, 1829. His mother, Rebecca Haas Strauss, was the second wife of his father, Hirsch Strauss, who died of tuberculosis in 1846. After his father's death, 2 of Levi's older brothers traveled to America and started a wholesale dry goods business in New York called J. Strauss Brother & Co. 2 years later, Levi traveled with his mother and 2 sisters to join his brothers. Soon, he started to learn the trade by helping to sell goods for his brothers. The California gold rush of 1849 caused a lot of people to move to the West Coast. This opened up an opportunity for the Strauss family to expand their business. So, Levi moved to San Francisco in 1853, the same year he got his American citizenship. He oversaw the West Coast branch of the family's business in San Francisco, but he soon opened his own wholesale business with the help of his brother-in-law, under the name David Stern and Levi Strauss. He eventually renamed the company Levi Strauss Company. Over his career, Levi carried on many other business pursuits, and he was known for his philanthropic activities in San Francisco. In 1877, he became a charter member and treasurer of the San Francisco Board of Trade. He established a charity organization helping widows and orphans in the city. In 1897, he funded 28 scholarships at the University of California, which are still active today. He died on September 26, 1902 in San Francisco. His nephew took over the company since he never got married or had children, and the company continued to grow over the years and extend its legacy. Till today, February 26th is celebrated as Levi Strauss Day. After Levi Strauss started his wholesale business, he sold goods to small general stores in the West. His business became successful over the next 20 years, and he became well respected in the city. He soon met another European immigrant, Jacob Davis, a tailor who frequently used to come to Strauss's store to buy denim cloth for his business. At the time, denim was commonly worn by laborers, but they were not very durable. One day, one of Davis's customers asked for a pair of pants that would last for a long time without wearing out and falling apart. So, he came up with the idea of fastening copper rivets to points of strain on the pants to make them last longer. The pants became popular fast, and Davis decided to get a patent to protect his unique design. He wrote to Strauss about this idea, proposing a partnership because he did not have enough funds to obtain a patent. Strauss saw the potential of the idea and agreed to form a partnership. They finally received a patent on May 20th, 1873, and copper riveting became a prominent part of the designs from that point. The Levi Strauss Company started selling overalls a few months after the patent was granted, and they were an instant success. Combining Strauss's denim fabrics and Davis's copper riveting marked the birth of blue jeans as we know it today, although they were called work overalls at the time because the men would wear them over their clothes while they worked. The overalls were mainly sold to working-class men when they first entered the market. In 1886, the company introduced the iconic two-horse trademark to the designs. By that time, Strauss had become a millionaire. 4 years later, the patent on riveted pants became public domain as Strauss and his nephews incorporated the company. In the same year, the Levi Strauss Company started referring to its products by lot numbers. The double X waist overall, which was the original model, was given the lot number 501, so people started to call it the 501s. Before we continue, do you know what would go well with a pair of blue jeans? A pair of nice sneakers. And that brings us to today's sponsor, Sky is the Limit, a one-stop brand for high-end quality sneakers. Step up your style with the variety of sneakers available on the Sky is the Limit website. So, click on the link in the description box below and get to shopping. Right then, shall we continue? After Levi Strauss died, the company continued to sell the 501 jeans, but only made minor adjustments to the design. The two pockets at the back of the pants started to appear in 1901, and belt loops were added in 1922. In the early years of the 20th century, Levi's was still only popular on the West Coast, and the company famously used cowboys in its marketing. The jeans started to become popular on the East Coast, when people who visited the West would go back home and tell stories about the overalls the Westerners wore. In 1918, the company decided to start making clothes for women, and by 1935, Levi's introduced the 701s, its first official jeans for women, which were similar to the 501 in its design, but had a higher-waisted feminine style. In the following year came the red tab, which the company used to differentiate Levi's from other denim fabrics. In addition to jeans, Levi's expanded their product line to include shirts, jackets, underwear, leather products, and accessories during the 20th century. People started to call Levi's blue jeans as the brand became increasingly popular in the 60s and 70s in what was called the blue jeans craze. In the 80s, the company started to focus a lot on advertising, working with celebrities like Bruce Willis, Stanley Tucci, and Spike Lee to promote their brand in the media. Levi's also provided clothes for American athletes at the 1980 and 1984 Olympic Games. Levi's blue jeans were mostly unopposed as a denim brand in the 20th century. However, the 90s rolled around with other brands and competitors like Guess, Tommy Hilfiger, and other foreign companies started to sell jeans at cheaper prices and gain traction in the market. To handle the competition, the company closed many of its manufacturing plants in the US and started to use offshore subcontractors to manufacture their fabrics. This led to the company's involvement in a labor scandal involving Tan Holdings Corporation, one of its subcontractors, in 1991. Some of the jeans the company claimed were made in America were found to have been made by Chinese laborers under poor working conditions. After an investigation by the U.S. Department of Labor, Tan Holdings Corporation was cited for multiple offenses and was mandated to pay over $9 million in restitution. Levi's denied knowledge of the offenses and severed ties with Tan Holdings. The company faced more labor trouble in the 1990s, including multiple strikes by Levi Strauss workers who protested against the company's labor policies. The Levi Strauss Company continued to struggle with its profits between the late 90s and early 2000s, causing the company to close up more manufacturing plants and lay off employees. The 2000s also came with the challenge of fending off imitation from competitors who were copying its designs, especially the trademark stitching patterns on the back pockets of their jeans. Between 2001 and 2007, Levi's filed nearly 100 trademark infringement lawsuits against brands like Polo Ralph Lauren, Zegna, Esprit Holdings, and Guess. The company still regularly looks out for and sues brands that copy them. Most recently, Levi's won a lawsuit against the Italian luxury fashion brand Bruno Cucinelli in May 2024 for copying their rectangular pocket tab. Since the turn of the century, Levi's has been committed to sustainability in the manufacturing of their products. In 2013, the company launched a screened chemistry program to examine the environmental impact of chemicals used in production before they enter the supply chain. They partnered with other brands like Nike and H&M to support the cause. In 2020, the company received the Golden Halo Award for their advancements in corporate social impact. As of today, Levi's is worth about $6 billion, with over 500 stores spread across more than 100 countries. From Steve Jobs to Albert Einstein, Elton John, and Lauryn Hill, Levi's has etched its name as an American cultural icon, so much so that in 2013, the Levi Strauss Company purchased the naming rights for the new stadium of the San Francisco 49ers. The stadium, located in Santa Clara, California, is now known as the Levi's Stadium. In 2017, Levi's proved that they could balance innovation with heritage when they partnered with Google to release the commuter trucker jacket, a smart piece of clothing which turns a part of the fabric on the sleeve into a touch-sensitive remote control for phones. The brand continued to grow until the world stopped in 2020. Like many other fashion retailers, Levi's was hit hard by the pandemic. The brand faced supply chain challenges and had to shut down its stores temporarily. Also, customers started to go for elastic waistbands, and by May of that year, the company's net revenue had dropped by 62%, and they laid off 700 employees. Despite the challenges of the pandemic, Levi's continued to adapt to the times. An example was when there was a trend sparked up among Gen Z shoppers who started to wear vintage jeans. The brand caught on to the trend and launched a secondhand shop in 2020, hiring celebrities like Hailey Bieber and Jaden Smith to promote the shop. In 2021, the Levi Strauss Company entered the activewear space through their purchase of Beyond Yoga, an acquisition which they believe will fetch them more than $100 million in annual revenue. True to its DNA, the Levi Strauss Company still carries on the philosophies of its founder to this day. The company organizes community days, in which they partner with charity organizations to help different causes. That is all we have for you today, folks. Do you remember getting your first pair of jeans? Let us know what you think about Levi's, and if you think jeans can remain in fashion for another 100 years. If you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe, so you don't miss out on other videos like this when they drop. And remember, sky is the limit.